Hey guys, and welcome to another week of my video blog. So we're ending a 3-week series on the topic of termination. The first week we talked about how you evaluate whether or not somebody should be terminated. The second week we talked about how you conduct that termination meeting. And this week, the third week, we're talking about how you prevent being terminated yourselves. And this was inspired by the latest issue of Inc. magazine, an article written by a guy named Eric Paley. And I thought it was really pertain to the type of business that we're in, is tennis club managers and operators. Now, you may own the club yourself, and you may not report to any owner or a business or an organization, but I still think that this applies to you in terms of how you make sure you run a really solid organization. And in this article, Eric Paley mentions 3 things that he thinks are really important when it comes to leading an organization and not making sure that you get fired. The first thing is to make sure that you do things that are outside of your comfort zone. The second thing is that you make sure that you are not neglecting real problems. And the third thing is to make sure that you hire an awesome senior team. So let's unpack those 3 things. The first thing, making sure that you do things that are outside of your comfort zone. I don't know about you, but I'm great with people, and sometimes I hate looking at the P&L. Or maybe you're the type of person who likes to be involved in the business and the reporting, but doesn't like the difficult conversations. As a leader and operator in any organization, you have to make sure that you address things that are outside of your comfort zone. The second thing Paley says is to make sure that you address real problems. And this is very similar to the first thing, but maybe you have an issue that really needs to be dealt with. Maybe it's an employee that's acting out of line and everybody else in your organization knows it, but you know it's going to be a really hard conversation. Or maybe it's a certain member that is poisonous to the rest of your membership. Those things need to be dealt with, and your members and your staff notice when you're neglecting the real problems in your club. The third thing is to make sure that you hire an awesome senior team. And I think this is the most important thing, because I think when you have the right people around the table in your organization, the first 2 things really take care of themselves. Your key employees are those right in your inner circle, and I would encourage you to look far and wide for the best people that you trust to be in those seats. If you have somebody in your inner circle that isn't respected by your staff, then your staff's going to notice that, and it's going to really detract from the quality of work that they do. Eventually, they're going to call you to the carpet, and you're going to be the one responsible for that. So address that and hire the best senior team you possibly can. So these are the 3 things that I read about in this Inc. magazine article, and I found it to be really helpful. I'd encourage you to pick it up, and I'd love to hear your feedback on how you go about your daily job to make sure that you don't get fired as well. Feel free to comment on this video, or you can shoot me an email, brianw@cpacweb.com. Thanks, we'll talk to you next week.